Buckle up, friends. We're going off the rails. And today, my lovely little passengers, I have a special guest joining us. She is a fitness guru. She is an entrepreneur. She is the literal most aesthetically pleasing person that I know. And she's my friend. So I can't wait to catch up with her. Lindsay Herrod, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, what an intro. The
You know,
aesthetically pleasing part really threw me, and I love that compliment.
No, Lindsay, if you look up the word aesthetically pleasing in a dictionary, I feel like your face pops up. Every time I look at your
I'm dead.
Instagram or like even your stories or looking at you on the podcast right now, I'm in an XL Johnny Cash t-shirt. I really said I'm not putting in effort today, and you look just so aesthetically pleasing.
And honestly, don't get it twisted. I was like texting you before this. I was like, I just finished teaching. My hair is so sweaty. I was like throwing it in a bun, slapping makeup on my face. So don't be fooled.
You look great. But
Well,
let's
thank you.
let's just dig into all things Lindsay. There's so many topics I want to cover on this podcast today. So like we've got fitness, we've got building a business. You just got freaking engaged. You launched a new app. Wow, go girl. I first want to know, Lindsay, when's the last time you took a little break? When's the last time you took a nap?
Oh my God. That's just the question of the century. 2024 has been a wild ride, and I'm like, it's only May. Extreme highs and extreme lows. Last time I took a nap, I can't pinpoint that one. But I will say life has been like screaming in my face to slow down. So I'm trying to listen. I have like a
Yeah.
couple more things I have to get through.
Hey.
And then I'm like, I'm okay. Once the summer hits, I'm really going to try to slow down.
Yeah. I mean, as a girl who also can't remember the last time I took a nap, I feel you. You know what? We love to work, and I feel like that's a pro and a con, but you know what? It's fine. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have the work ethic, but
Exactly.
to my own detriment sometimes,
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure. Yeah, guys, take a break. Take a breather. Take a lap if you're listening to this. But before we get into you having this empire fitness business, all the fun things, what is the most off the rails thing that you've done lately, or just an off the rails thought? Does anything come to mind?
So I wouldn't say this is lately. Like, I really
Okay.
do think that at 35 years old, my off the rails days are like pretty much behind me for the most part. But we will touch on this in this podcast episode, I'm sure. But for sure, I think the most off the rails thing I've done semi recently was like how I met my fiance. Like the whole story of how we met and how he has come to be here and everything like that. It was like an off the rails kind of night, but it ended up working out for me. So I
It
can
ended up
maybe I can be the poster girl for how sometimes being a little off the rails can work in your favor.
Lindsay, you being off the rails led to a hot Greek man now being in America and being your future husband. So yes, you are the
I know.
poster child for off the rails. I am so thrilled you're on this podcast. Now I know that people are like, what the hell are you talking about? Can you give like a Cliff Notes version of how you met your man, how this all came to be? Because it actually is wild.
Okay, I'm gonna try my hardest to like make it fast. I was
Okay.
in Greece. I held a fitness retreat in Santorini a couple years ago. And after the retreat, I went to Mykonos with some of my friends to end the trip, just like have some fun. Work is over now. And the last night of the trip, I saw this like really hot Greek guy at a bar. And I, like a creep, like took a video of him and like zoomed in on his face, and I like posted it on my close friends and like put it in the group chat. Like, what are the odds I make out with this guy tonight? Fully kidding, like just being,
I'm dead.
sassy after a couple cocktails. Um, and then just like he came over. I thought I was being sly. No, actually what happened was it got to the point where we went to exchange contact information, and he like asked for my Instagram, and I handed him my phone, I think, to like put his Instagram in. And when I handed him my phone, the last thing that was pulled up on my phone was the video of me zooming in on his face. Like sheer embarrassment, mortified, but you have like you can nothing but just own it in that moment.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
have to own it in
yeah,
that moment.
yeah.
Hey,
And then we just like ended up having kind of, a wild romantic evening together. And it was the last night of my trip. So I never thought I was going to see this person again. And here we are. We're engaged
and
now.
you're freaking engaged. You're planning a big fat Greek wedding. I love it. Okay, I do have to ask though. So you had your fun little rendezvous. You thought you would never see him again. what led to you then with this long distance relationship? Did he initiate it? Were you like, this is the love? Did you know in that moment?
No, no, like, neither of us went into this thinking we were ever gonna see each other again. You know how it is when you're kind of, like, post-vacation, you meet somebody, like, you're kind of on a high a little bit,
Yeah.
and so, like, you stay in contact at first, but you just expect it to, like, fizzle
Yeah.
out. So that was kinda, like, how it started, really, and we just really enjoyed talking to one another, and so we just kept staying in contact and kept, like, FaceTiming all the time, and yeah, and then a couple months later, he was like, "I think I'm gonna come visit." And I was single, so I'm like, "I'm not gonna tell this hot Greek guy he
Yeah.
can't come visit
You
me,"
can
like,
come visit.
absolutely. And, like, the connection just deepened and grew, and then that turned into him coming to visit again, and then finally, it was just, like, fast forward 6 months, we were like, "Okay, is this going somewhere? Because we can't just, like, be, like, in love pen pals halfway across the
Right.
world forever." Yeah, and so then obviously conversations got more serious about him moving here, but we didn't go into it, like, planning long distance
Dude.
date. I didn't sign myself up for that, it wasn't the intention. I was honestly just, like, having fun, and there was no pressure on it, which I think really worked to our
Hmm.
benefit, because if you don't think you're gonna see someone again or this isn't going anywhere, you're just so much more likely to, like, be vulnerable and be your authentic self. You're
Well,
not, like,
you
overthinking
literally
all
have
these little
nothing to
things.
lose.
You have
Yeah.
nothing to lose, exactly, and we were just super vulnerable with each other, and I
Yeah.
think that it worked in our benefit.
Look, girls out there, if you're dating, well, first of all, go abroad to date. I think look at Lindsay, she's now engaged. I still have a hot Australian in the picture, which is lovely.
Yay!
Yeah, yay, we love that. But the men, and Lindsay, you get this, the men
Oh, yeah.
overseas, 10 billion times better.
They're just
Look,
you like, you cannot compare them, like,
at
I'm
all.
so it's so sad to say this, like, American men are just it's not where it's at. It's not where
No,
it's at.
it's not.
A long time ago, I told my friends, I was like, "I just don't think I'm gonna, like, end up with an American guy." I called it so long ago.
And now look at you. You
They're a
got
different breed. They're a different
they
breed out there.
because I feel like men, like in Europe, Australia, whatever, not American men, I feel like they actually court women. Like they actually want to date them versus American boys. It's like they text you and like, hey, do you want to watch Netflix on my couch? Excuse me, sir. No, I
I
don't.
also just think that, like, that the toxic masculinity is a little bit worse here, and I do
Mm-hmm.
think that, like, European men are much more in touch with their feelings, and it's not viewed as this, like, feminine thing that makes them
Yes.
weak. I think it's actually a superpower of theirs and something that I really love and admire, and a huge, huge turn on to me. And, like, they own it. So, I don't know, it's just the
Look,
romance is there, man.
yes, girls, book a one-way flight to Europe, download Tinder, come back with a man, and then message me and Lindsay, and we're gonna celebrate with you. And
No,
what
like,
is
for
fine.
real, on my fitness retreat that was in Portugal last year, I had my brand manager trying to, like, download Tinder, all the things. Dude, I she was guys were trying to marry her that night.
No, literally, you will find your husband abroad,
Like,
and I'm not kidding.
this is not a drill. This is not a drill. It's a real thing.
And the men on Tinder, you almost feel like you're being catfished when you're in
Yeah.
Europe. Like,
I'm
I
like, "Is this
downloaded
America's Next Top Model?"
and it's Tinder. You know what's not America's Next Top Model? Tinder in America.
No.
I'm actually scared to download Tinder and see what the crowd is. But guys, freaking go to Europe. Take it from Lindsay.
Yeah.
Look, we'll touch back on, I want to circle back to dating and weddings and all this stuff. But like, let's talk. You just on socials launch a brand new freaking app, which is amazing. How is that
Thank
going?
you. It's going great. I mean, wow, it was so much work, but it was something that was on my heart to do for a really long time, and I feel so good about it. My app is called Uplift. I do live stream home workouts every single day from this little virtual studio that I'm in right now. And yeah, it's incredible. My whole brand is really about uplifting women through lifting weights, predominantly strength training, but I've got Pilates, HIIT, conditioning, mobility. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything on there. But yeah, it's amazing. I have the best community of women who train with me every single day, and it's the best life.
Dude, you're freaking crushing it. I love watching you. I feel like we've known each other for a while since I was in LA, but just you're taking the world by storm. It's so awesome to see. Let's do some fitness truths and myths because
Let's do it.
I think of aesthetically pleasing and I think of Lindsay, and I also when I think of when I think of fitness, I think of Lindsay Herrod. So I get asked fitness questions all the time. Listeners want to know. There's so much misinformation out there. And I'm sure you get this, especially revolving around fitness. And I feel like a lot of women, You go on social media, you find like the cute girl who's, I don't know. Look, I've fallen prey to like the girl on TikTok telling me what to do. And I'm like,
For
okay,
sure.
there's so much misinformation. So let's just dig into some, you can tell me truth or myth or whatever you think. But, oh, I'm passionate about this one. I know you are too.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Truth or myth, lifting weights makes you bulky.
Oh my gosh, come on. Myth.
Uh,
Lifting weights makes you the hottest bitch out there.
Re-freaking tweet. Oh my God. I will scream this from the rooftops. It's like pick up a weight. If you want an ass, if you want curves, if you want any sort of shape, you have to lift weights. And I don't understand why it's 2024 and so many women are still scared to go lift heavy.
Yeah, I mean, come train with me and you will learn otherwise. I'm the leanest I've ever been. The leanest you will ever be is going to be from strength training. Like this isn't my
Absolutely.
opinion. This isn't my opinion. This is science. My approach to fitness is very fun, but also very science backed. And like this is literally just science. That if you want to be lean, you have to build muscle. And I think people get in their head about getting bulky. And I'm like, you know how hard it is to bulk? How like much dedication, years of dedication it takes to put on mass like that. Like it is really, really challenging to do. If you think that's going to happen from like lifting 10-pound dumbbells, you're
No.
crazy. I'm sorry.
Also, I feel like people don't realize the amount that you have to be consuming in order
Oh
to
my
get
gosh. Like
bulky.
the surplus of calories is like insane
No,
to put on that kind of
100%.
mass. No.
And I'm sure you can agree with this. I get the best workout from lifting weights. Like I can go to a HIIT class, I can do cardio, I can do Pilates, but I'm the sweatiest. I am the most exhausted when I am lifting weights. Like you really can get the best workout if you pick up the dumbbell.
Yeah. And honestly, as women especially, it's so, so vital for us to be lifting weights for our bone density, for our metabolisms, like those things, we just lose them quicker than men as we age. It's so important for a magnitude of reasons, like health reasons, outside of obviously just looking aesthetically pleasing, and like being tight. So yeah, I mean, just you've got to start resistance training. You've got to. It
You
will
heard
change
it.
your life. It will honestly change your life.
And you'll, like Lindsay said, you'll be a hot bitch. And like we all want, you'll be a hot, healthy bitch, which like we all
Yes.
want that at the end of the day.
Happy, healthy, hot forever.
Ah, preach. Okay. More sweat equals a better workout. Truth or myth?
Myth. Also, genetics play a lot in
Yeah.
this. Some people aren't sweaters. Your hydration levels play into this. Like I mean, that's like comparing going to a hot yoga class where you're not lifting any weights, so you're not really exerting any energy. Like the stimulus on your muscles is little to none, but you're sweating a shit ton because you're in a hot yoga studio.
Right.
Compared to lifting weights in your living room with a fan on. You know what I mean? It's not the determining factor of an effective workout whatsoever.
Right. And also, like, look, I'm a sweaty gal. I step outside, instant sweat. So, and I probably didn't do anything. So I know a lot of people, I feel like I used to be really bad about this when I was in my young 20s. I would go to a soul cycle class and I was like, if I don't leave and I'm not absolutely drenched in sweat,
Yeah.
then I need to do another workout that day. And it's like, literally, no, it's so
No, it
incorrect.
honestly, it kind of ties into, I tell my clients this a lot. I think like the whole relationship with like how you're feeling sweating and also Apple Watches
Mm,
can be detrimental because a lot of people think if they're not hitting like a certain number of calories burned on their Apple Watch that their workout wasn't effective. And one, those things are not accurate. And it's just
at all.
not the determining factor of an effective workout whatsoever. Like, are you lifting heavier? Do you feel stronger? Are you taking less breaks? Do you feel more
Hmm.
energized? Like, there are so many other things. Are you losing inches? Are your clothes fitting better? There's so many other things
Right.
that are better determining factors. And sweat is not it.
No,
Sweat is
what?
not it. But I will say that the more you work out, you should be sweating more. It's kind of like why athletes, like look at a basketball player, like 5 minutes into a game, they're drenched in sweat, right?
Right.
It's because they're athletes, their bodies are so conditioned to start to cool them down quicker.
Yeah.
So the more active you are, I do think the more you're going to sweat because your
Right.
body is just conditioned to try to cool you down.
Yeah, and I do think there is a difference between, yeah, like what you said, actually sweating and working hard. When I was lifting weights and kind of starting my weightlifting journey, I did not understand lifting until failure. Like
Mm,
actually pushing yourself until you can't anymore. Like I would go to the gym, I'd do my little weights and my curls and whatever, and I'd leave and be like, I did a great workout. And yes, it was a good workout, but you really have to push yourself until you actually fail. And I think
Yes.
that's what a lot of people don't understand with strength training. Is like there is a difference between the two.
For sure, and there's definitely workouts that can still feel challenging, super challenging without you taking reps to failure, but taking reps to failure and then being able to push past that and progressively overload and then be able to take heavier reps to failure, this is how you really move the needle in terms of your body composition, and I think this is where women start to get really scared. This is where they're gonna start to bulk and, like, put on
Mhm.
mass, but you have to be breaking that muscle tissue down in order for it to repair and grow
Yes.
lean muscle tissue, and this is just how it works, and I'm telling you, you're not gonna get bulky. Girl, you're gonna
No,
get shredded.
and you're gonna get a cute, perky little peach of a butt, which,
So
like,
true.
we
We all
all want
want that.
that. Oh my god. Ooh, here's a good one. Oh god, I hear this all the time. Abs are made in the kitchen. Truth or myth?
I literally just posted a reel about this on
Yeah.
Instagram last night. This is so funny. So I actually will agree to disagree kind of on
Okay.
this one. So people say abs are made in the kitchen. I think abs are made in the gym, but revealed in the kitchen.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
that's my modification to the saying. But
Amen.
yeah, I
Amen.
mean, if you're not eating clean and you're not in a calorie deficit, it doesn't matter. You can do all the crunches in the world and build your core and have a super strong core, but you have to lose body fat in order for your abs to be revealed. So,
Exactly. Oh, also, can we touch on this? Lindsay, what's your opinion on like spot training? Oh my,
oh, as in like spot reducing?
like the 8-minute abs, or like people are like,
Oh,
my
yeah. I
workout
mean,
for the day, I want some abs. I'm gonna do 8 minutes of abs, and
if I
I'm
had
gonna
a
see it.
dollar for like every time I've received a message that's like, I really want to lose like weight on my love handles or on my inner thighs or this or that. No, you absolutely cannot spot train and you cannot spot reduce. I mean, you can spot train, like you can isolate muscle groups, but that doesn't mean that you're going to lose fat in that one area.
Right. Right.
You have to lose overall body fat. That's just the way it works. And honestly, I don't know why this is viewed as such a bad thing because then you're losing body fat all over and everything's getting
Right.
lean, not just one area of your body. But it is impossible to spot reduce fat. So if you want to lose body fat around your midsection to have a more lean core, you have to lose overall body fat. You can't
Preach.
just lose belly fat. There are things that you can consume that can cause, like alcohol, for example, cause you to retain more abdominal fat. So like there are things that you can tweak in your diet to help, I guess, adjust in that one certain area, if that makes sense. But overall,
Mm,
you have to lose overall body fat.
amen. Not you saying like alcohol. I literally was like, oh my god,
Don't think, don't think that it stops me from taking my
guys.
margaritas.
I've had a rough 2 months, but, like, I have decided we are on the mend, okay? Look,
Okay.
I went through it. We're 30. I am now health and wealth and all the things. Okay.
Everything in moderation, okay?
Hey,
We need
look,
balance.
a balance is very important. Right now, I'm like, I need more water and hydration. Okay, here we go. Truth or myth, rest days are lazy. Like, do you need
Oh
one or
my
not?
gosh, what are like how people believe these? Rest
Apparently.
days are like actually essential. I think this is like maybe another myth, truth or myth that people don't realize is that you're not actually building muscle when you're working out. You're tearing muscle tissue down. You're breaking muscle tissue down. So you're ripping your muscles apart when you're working out. And when you're sleeping and when you're recovering on your rest days and your active recovery days is when your body is repairing itself and repairing that muscle tissue. And this is when actually all of the growth is taking place and all of the magic is happening. So what you do outside of the gym is just as important as what you do inside of the gym, arguably, if not more important. So
Mm,
your rest days are not lazy. One, for your body, they're not lazy. And two, they are crucial for your mental health.
mm.
Like, you just need days where you have to slow down. We can't be operating at 100 miles per hour at all times. It's just not sustainable.
Wow, I feel like you're speaking my soul right now. I'm like, is she talking directly to me? No, it
We've
really
got
is
her
so
ass.
important. It is so important. And I think I learned this in the past 2 months where I just crammed in as much as I possibly could, thinking I was Superwoman. And then I realized very quickly that your body and your brain and your mental state just can't handle it. Like you physically need a break. And if you don't take one, your body will decide on its
Your body will
own.
tell you. Also, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like this narrative has kind of disappeared for the most part, but there's still people out there who are really like adamant about like, oh, I'm gonna do two a days, for
Mm-hmm.
like 2 weeks straight, 2 weeks, 2 weeks straight leading up to my vacation or whatever it is. And I'm like, like your cortisol levels are gonna be so spiked, you're gonna be retaining more fat if you're not recovering properly. Like it's just not the best approach. It's not sustainable. It's not the best approach. Like you don't need
Yes.
2 days. I mean, you can sure go for a run, go for a walk like after, but just take like 45 to 60 minutes and really give it your all in that 45 to 60 minutes. And then the rest of your day, drink your water,
Chill.
eat your protein, manage your stress levels, go to sleep early. Like, this is what is going to move the needle in terms of your
Right.
body composition and your results.
100%. Okay, last one, fitness truth and myth. This is an interesting one. Morning workouts are best. Truth or myth? Because I've heard both.
There is no science to prove that a workout in the morning is better versus a workout at night. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I feel like it's
Some
whenever
people
you
like to argue,
can.
like, some people really like to argue, like, the fasted cardio thing in the morning. Like, honestly, what it comes down to is what best suits your schedule, because whatever best suits your schedule is how you're gonna stay consistent, and consistency is really what matters.
Mm.
So, I don't care what time of the day that's at, if it's at 7 AM or noon or 7 PM, it literally does not matter.
What are your thoughts? I'm actually curious on this. What's your thoughts on intermittent fasting? It's never been my jam. I think it depends on the person, but I am curious, like, do you believe in it? What's your thought on it?
I actually did intermittent fasting for quite some time. I think the problem is that people have, like, the wrong application with it, meaning that they think it's kind of some, like, diet tool that's gonna help them achieve results quicker, when really the purpose of fasting for that long is to give your digestive system a break.
Mhm.
And then what happens is that people wait till, say, noon to start eating their first meal of the day, and then they're not eating enough calories within that window that they are consuming foods. And then you end up, kind of chronically under eating, which is having the adverse effect on your metabolism. So when I was intermittent fasting, I would really only try to do it a few days a week. And like I said,
Mhm.
like, keeping in mind that this was to give my digestive system a break, um, not because it was like some fad weight loss tool. So I think if, like, the application is done correctly, it can be beneficial. But I don't think that most people apply
Do
it
it
correctly.
correctly.
Yeah.
Right, right, 100%. Okay, well, that's it on the truth and myths. Lindsay,
Cool.
queen, icon, she knows it all. Okay, I wanna dig into dating because I know, look, you get questions about it, I get questions about it. I'm like, "Okay, fine, we must." But before we do, look, you are an entrepreneur, you have your own business. I applaud any female who is able to do it and take the risk. I wanna know for those out there because I feel like a lot of people glamorize it, and it's like, "Oh my god, you're your own boss." And then obviously there's the other side of you're probably working 12 hours. We don't sleep a lot. We have high stress levels. So take me through real quick the pros and cons of being an entrepreneur.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I hit
It's
you with a
like,
long one.
no, no, it's good. I mean, obviously, like, the major pro is that you are building something that is your own. I think I spent a lot of years of my life waking up so early, running myself into the ground, driving all over, teaching fitness classes for all these studios, and I was just running myself into the ground building other people's businesses.
Mm,
And I finally got to the point where I was like, I can take this same amount of time and apply it to something that is my own. And you put in the work, and it's really, really hard, and it requires a lot of sacrifice. And there is a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of stress, that people don't see behind the scenes, like, a lot of stress. But you do get something that you get to look at that you are so proud of, and that is your own. You learn so much along the
yeah.
way. Like, you fail so much, and it requires you to learn so much in order to grow. Like, there's just so many little things that I never thought about in terms of being a business owner, especially when you have employees and payroll
Let's talk
taxes,
about
and,
taxes. Oh,
I
good
mean, oh
God.
god. We won't even go down that road. That is just, like, hurts my soul.
Yeah.
But it's obviously, it's extremely rewarding, but anything that is, worth having is going to be a lot of work as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, no, I definitely don't have, like, 9 to 5 hours where I get to shut off. I feel like I'm always on. I feel like I always have this need to, like, feel available to people,
Mhm.
and, like, this constant pressure to, like, show up and then show up more and show up more and show up more,
Yep.
which makes it really, really hard to slow down, which I will say definitely can have an impact on your relationships and your relationship with yourself and your health and things like that. So, um, I don't know if that was, like, a direct pros
Yep.
and cons list,
No, it
but
makes sense.
that's my answer.
I always just like to show that, look, it's the grass is not always greener. I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people see, especially influencers and our jobs and on social media, it does look so fun and glamorous. And you get to travel and go on fitness retreats, and I'm bopping here and there. And I get it, but I do think it's always important to be like, yo, it's also so difficult. Especially right. Like being on 24/7 is brutal. for especially
Yeah.
for your
And
mental health.
I think like having like a strong social media presence is just like an added layer for me. I don't think that people realize actually like how time consuming and taxing it is for me, like running my own business. Like I have over 1,000 subscribers like on my app every month. Like that's a lot of people to
Yeah.
manage and deal with for just like little old me. Like I have a very small team, but like I'm really 80% of my time and energy is focused on running my business. And then like content creation, showing up on social media is like a whole other layer. I feel like people think I just like wake up in the morning and like teach my fitness class and then I'm like done for the day.
You're like,
um
incorrect.
yeah, no. But then also like the stuff that I'm doing all day long is kind of like the boring, not fun stuff. So yeah, there's pros and cons, just like anything.
Yep. Look, well, keep crushing it. And on that note, let's talk about dating. Let's talk about your
Okay,
dating
let's do it.
life. We love it. Dude, you just got engaged. That's freaking insane.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did
Thank
you
you.
did you I look, I know some people like dig for the rings, they have ideas. Like, did you have any idea it was coming?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll just be like fully transparent because, this is what I'm all about. And I've also already been like transparent about this, like on my social media. But like, we were pregnant earlier at the beginning of the year. And so obviously the conversation of getting married, was
Right.
very prevalent. And we went together to pick out the ring. I got to like really be a part of the process there. But it was all on him, how, when, all that kind of stuff. So,
Cute.
it was like I knew, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, how's wedding planning going? Are we expecting a big fat Greek wedding in Greece?
You guys know we are not expecting a big fat Greek wedding. I'm so sorry to break it to you guys. Traditionally, Greek weddings are very, very big, like hundreds and hundreds of people. That is so not my speed. I am the small, intimate kind of gal. But it will definitely be in Greece. We're traveling there this summer to visit his family and just like for leisure as well. And we have some appointments lined up to check out some venues in Santorini.
So
I
fun.
have a dream venue, so we'll see how it all works out. I'm manifesting that it will all play out, but we
It
will see.
will.
But honestly, we're so newly engaged that we really haven't like dove too much into that. I'm just kind of like in the stages of like saving all of the things on Pinterest and like deep diving on Instagram to like locations and things like that. So it's still very early stages. And I also don't really feel, to be honest, in a super big rush to
Yeah.
have a wedding. Like if it's next year or if it's the year after, I don't know. I think I'm just like, if had you asked me this and I was engaged like, 8 years ago, 7 years ago,
Mhm.
I would have been like rushing everything. But I just think like at my age now, I just have so many other things that
Yeah.
are like bigger priority to me. And I know that whenever it happens, it will be beautiful. And I'm just not really in a rush. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, you might as well enjoy it. Oh, real quick, let's touch on this because I know there's some girls out there. And look, I just turned 30. I also went through my own little mental breakdown of like, where am I? I thought I would be 30 and married with kids, like being
We
from
all thought
Texas.
that.
We all thought that. And then, but there's still, it's 2024. And you would think by now, it's like, all right, girls, live your best life. Your timeline is only your timeline. But I still feel like there's this societal pressure. Like I've gotten DMs before being like, well, don't you want to settle down? Like, aren't you like, why don't you put more priority on dating? But look at you. You are now, I'm not saying you're like old in the slightest, but you waited and you're like, I'm not in a rush to get married. I don't need it to happen tomorrow. Like, I'm running a business. I am whatever, living my best life. How do you not feel pressure? Did you feel pressure like in your 20s, early 30s to like make it happen?
So I definitely did. I actually was engaged once before.
Okay.
And I ultimately ended up leaving the relationship and deciding that it wasn't the right call for me and that it wasn't my forever person. And that was like for sure one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Um, but I think after that experience, I was like, I don't care about my age. Like, I just want to find the right person. And I'm
Yeah.
committed to, doing the work on myself so that I can grow from that experience and have a deeper connection with myself and improve myself and grow and hold out for the right person. And so I
And
think
now
that,
look.
yeah, so that definitely like played a part in me being a little bit patient. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, of course, I don't think there's anyone out there who can honestly say they don't feel societal pressures as a
Yeah.
woman. I don't think there's anyone out there who can say that, whether it's having children or getting married or buying a home or whatever it is. all of the pressures are there. They all exist, and we all fall prey to them, unfortunately. But I will say that and it's going to sound so cliche, but it really is so true. You have to just take this time to work on yourself. And then
Mm,
when I say that, I mean, like, you have to really do the work. Like, I went to therapy a lot. Like, I really, really did the work on myself to put myself in a position I'm like, okay, now this is the best version of me.
yep.
I'm ready to find somebody who's at that same place.
100%. I think the saying is like, no one else can love you until you totally love yourself. So it's like, I feel like a lot of women are like so antsy on like, I need to find someone, I need to find a partner. And then they find someone, but like, they don't, if you don't actually love yourself, how can someone else love you? So yeah, I so agree. Like, do the self work. I don't care what age you are, where you are in life. If you do the work and you are like totally comfortable being by yourself, which I think is the most empowering thing ever, like go take yourself on a date. You don't need to go on a date with another man. I think once you do all of that, it opens the door for that right person to walk into your life. I mean, look at you. You've met a
For
man
sure.
in
But
grace.
I will say, like, doing the work on yourself for me doesn't mean like you can't be dating along the way. My therapist
Yeah.
actually was like very adamant about teaching me that like so much of your healing and growing will come through new relationships and through dating because you'll date people who will treat you better than you were treated in the past,
Mhm.
and it will just force you to uplevel your standards because you'll be like, this is how I enjoy being treated. Maybe this wasn't the right guy for me, but I enjoy how he treated me, and now this is the standard moving forward. And
Yep.
it really also does play a role, I think, in your healing journey. And also with my fiance, I think one of the best things about our relationship and why I fell in love with him so much was that I honestly felt like he helped me to fall in love with myself
Ah.
first before his focus was for me to fall in love with him. I know.
Wait. Oh my god, I'm like emotional. That's wow, that's goals. That is goals.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. Girls, look, don't settle. Whatever you do, don't settle.
Mm-mm. No, no.
Your partner, first and foremost, should, like Lindsay said, he should make you fall in love with yourself. The goal should not be you falling in love with him. Ooh, wow. I'm gonna write that one
Yeah.
down after
Somebody
this.
someone who's going to remind you of your worth. Wow. He's a keeper.
100%. And if you go on a bunch of duds of dates, look, I've been there, done that. It
Girl, we've all been there.
ah, it only leads you one step closer to, like, finding what you actually want. Like, think of it as research purposes. You make a list of everything you do and you don't want, and then you get to move forward, and then you get to, compare and see who else can bring that to the table, vice versa, whatever. So look, it only gets better. I'm also giving myself a pep talk right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like, "It only gets better. It's fine."
I do have something to say about the list.
Yes.
I have something to say about the list because I used to be this girl. I
Okay.
used to be the girl who like had I one night I wrote down everything I wanted in my ideal partner and I like had this list like in my nightstand drawer. I prayed over it every single night. I was like, I am manifesting this man. And I actually feel like it kind of sucked the fun out of dating for me a little bit
Mm.
because became very rigid in my dating experiences where I was like, does he check off all the boxes? Is this the guy from my list? And if he wasn't, I was quick to write them off. And
Interesting.
I ended up with somebody who doesn't have a lot of the qualities that were on my list, but has so many other amazing qualities that I didn't even know that I wanted. But I do that think that sometimes it can make you a little rigid in your dating experiences. And I think that was why I had so many failed dating experiences was
Interesting.
because I was kind of sucking the fun out of the process.
Oh my god.
It was giving desperation.
Dude, that is so funny that you say that because I also wow, we are similar. I'm also a list girly. Like, I was like, because everyone says, they're like, "Write down every quality
Yeah,
that you want in a man, like, manifest it, whatever." So I did that. I made a list very specifically, like, wrote the whole letter to myself, slept with it under my pillow, whatever
yes,
woo-woo stuff.
same.
Like, we've all done it. And then when I met someone, I ignored every possible red flag because they met so many things on this list. It was almost like
Uh-huh.
I actually made a TikTok with my friend, and I should not have taken this TikTok so damn seriously. I'm sure it's still up there. And I was like, my friend, she said, "Why don't you make a TikTok actually manifesting, say everything you want in a partner?" I was like, "All right, that seems like a fun idea." And I literally found this man who I described in this TikTok, like, to a T. It was honestly uncanny. So I was like, it's fate. This is my husband. I'm meant to marry this man. And I kind of ran with that, unfortunately. And I was like, well, it's manifestation. I manifested him. And I ignored so many qualities I didn't like because I was
Mm,
so stuck on, but on paper, it's so good. And he loves Jesus and has a good family and a good job and has a house and whatever, whatever. And it's like, oh my God, literally, those things actually don't matter. You should have your non negotiables, obviously,
for sure. Have your
but
non-negotiables, and there's nothing wrong with, like, having obviously your standards, you need those. Have your
yes.
non-negotiables, like, super important things, but I also just feel like in that moment, I realized, like, "Oh my god, like, I think I know exactly what I want," and
Yep.
God was like, "You think you know what you want, but I know what you need, and I know
Ooh,
better. So you need to just
yes.
trust and let me show you that I know better what you need and what is better suited for you," and I had to relinquish that control and
Oh
just
my
trust.
gosh, 100%. Like, I used to be like, I want tall, clean cut, whatever, like no tattoos, nothing. And now I'm like, I want a 6'2" Australian man with a man bun and a bunch of piercings. And I'm like, so hot. That's all I want. And yeah, 25-year-old Morgan would be like, no, we want the Ken doll down the
I'm
street. And it's
dead.
like, you know what, guys? It changes. It depends on the person. Wow.
God knows what you need. God knows what you need, Morgan.
That and he lives in Australia. Anyways, I digress. Let's hit us with some listener unpopular opinions. And I say this, Lindsay, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story, and this kind of speaks on men should hype you up. The right person will make you feel beautiful. I went to Vegas. Obviously, we all know that, friends. It was all over my Instagram. I have some regrets, whatever. But I will say I looked hot. And I wore this like pink backless mesh dress, and it was like a little bit revealing, but oh my God, I felt so sexy in it. I lived my best life, had a great time. And some man commented on my Instagram, as they all do, and said something along the lines of, wow, you have a boyfriend and you wore that in Vegas. Like, I bet he's so disappointed. Like, why would you go out and something like that? Like, just basically being like, I don't know, a troll. And it made my blood boil, as it would any woman. And so I posted on my Instagram, whatever. My, I guess, popular, unpopular opinion, you can agree or disagree. I just think a man should not have any say in what you wear. I think the right partner, obviously, I think it's different. They're like, hey, this is not your color. Maybe it's not the most flattering. If you want to wear it, wear it. If it makes you feel confident, that's fine. But I just think the right man would not be insecure of you wearing something that you feel sexy in. I think he's going to hype you up. I think he's going to encourage you to wear whatever you want. Oh my God, I'm literally angry thinking about that comment. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was immediately gonna bring that to, like, I think if you're in a secure
Yep.
relationship, like, what you're wearing, like, doesn't fucking matter, like, it
No,
really doesn't. It's so, like, it's such a minute detail, like, you're in a healthy, confident relationship, like, okay, who cares? Um,
literally.
my fiance is more so, like, will tell me not to wear something backless because he thinks I'm gonna be cold. Like,
Yeah,
that's
right,
where his intentions
right,
are.
right. That is
He's like, "No,"
caring.
he's yeah. Yeah, no, like, in a caring way, but I would agree with you. I would agree with
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God. And I've had so many women message me before, and it makes me so sad. They'll be like, obviously, like, I love color and pink and whatever, but they'll message me and say, like, I really want to wear this hot pink dress to this wedding I'm going to. My husband told me not to. He told me to wear the black dress, but like, what are your thoughts on it? And I'm always like, wear the
Oh,
freaking hot
yeah,
pink dress,
no.
please.
In those instances, I always wear what I want.
Yes, I'm like, girls, wear again, the right partner will he will want you to feel like your sexiest self in whatever you want to wear, not him being like, "Oh, I want you to wear a turtleneck and not the whatever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
backless dress." Guys, secure relationships, they're important. Lindsay,
Absolutely.
what is your do you have an unpopular opinion?
Oh god, I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh, sorry, I should have warned you.
I thought we were going over readers' unpopular opinions. I don't know if I have an unpopular opinion.
That's fine.
I'll have to think on this one.
Okay.
Do we have any more that
If
we can read while I think?
Oh, we have a
Oh, is it
long
just
list, and you
oh,
can
okay.
tell
Oh,
me.
okay.
Here's numero uno on our list. God, and Lindsay, we're about to not be friends based on your answer on this one. Okay, someone said Taylor Swift isn't good and Swifties are annoying. Lindsay, come on.
Oh.
No, don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. As I just posted on my Instagram story, me singing Taylor Swift before this. Wow.
Girl, why are you doing me dirty like this? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not a Swiftie, you guys. I'm not a
Okay.
Swiftie. I am not gonna go as far to say she sucks.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't really like
Get the
enjoy
hype.
her. Yeah, I don't get the hype. I'm not a Swiftie. Like I don't listen to her music in my own time.
Fair.
I do think that her fans are a little
Okay.
annoying.
You know what? I'm going to take back my opinion. I will say, look, I think look, I'm obviously a huge fan. I
People
think
like worship her, like she is like God, and I'm just like also not the kind of person who is like down for like putting celebrities on a
yeah.
pedestal like that. Like I just don't think it's healthy. Like people will defend this woman like to the death. Like it doesn't even matter what she says or does. Like people will just like they just idolize her.
What
Um
it is a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie. I would vote for her if she was on the presidential ballot. Look. She has helped our economy. I will say, look, I'm a Swiftie. I'm a fan, but I do think the diehard ones are. I agree, a little psychotic. I saw on TikTok, someone was like tracking her private jet. Like they had
okay,
a
okay.
legitimate
That's called
spreadsheet.
obsession.
So that was
That's a
bizarre.
stalker.
That was a little bizarre. It's like,
That person
okay,
needs help.
yeah,
Yeah, but I also like so many like I mean, hello, so many of my friends obviously like love Taylor Swift. I don't have anything
yeah.
against Swifties. I'm just not personally one myself.
You know what, Lindsay? I like that for you. I like that you
Yeah.
go against the grain, and I am the grain. Okay. Apple Watches look horrible. You know, I actually like an Apple Watch.
I'm like, is that the end of the statement?
Yeah, that's literally all they said. Apple Watches look
Okay.
horrible. Period.
Honestly, this is a pet peeve of mine. I do agree. Unless you're working out. Like if
I
you're
okay.
training, like yeah, I get it. But like out to dinner with like your like hot
No,
outfit, no,
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 no.
no, no.
Also, it doesn't
You have
count.
technology strapped to your arm. Like
And it
relax.
doesn't count, girlies and guys out there, if you change the band to like a gold band. I have seen people at weddings, at literal weddings,
No.
and girls will have on their Apple Watch with like a gold band. And I'm like, that's not a jewelry statement.
But also
No.
this is like what I was saying, like people are so obsessed with like counting their steps and like every like move that they make on their Apple Watch throughout the day, which I think can honestly result in an unhealthy relationship. And now it also results in bad style.
Yeah, no, 100%. You get to wear your Apple Watch when
It's not
you're,
my thing. It's not my
no.
thing personally.
You get to wear your Apple Watch in the gym or when you're in yoga pants. And beyond
Yeah.
that, nothing. If you're in a denim, take off the Apple
If
Watch.
you're in heels,
No.
no.
You
This is a
don't get
sin.
your Apple Watch. And I know, oh God, I can feel it. I can feel the listeners. You're going to say, but like, I'm a mom and like, whatever. Guys, you have a cell phone. You don't need a walkie talkie on your arm. I promise you, you can take off the Apple Watch.
I could get that more. Like, moms need to be hands free more, and we can't
Okay.
relate to that. Like, I could not understand that sentiment, so I can back them there. Okay, but like,
Okay.
if you're dressed up going out somewhere, it's a
Yeah.
no.
If it's date night, take off the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Ooh, okay. Wow. A lot of people just are very blunt. Uggs are ugly, period.
I mean, honestly, I have Uggs and I wear Uggs, but I also do think they're kind of ugly.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
I agree, but I still wear them. I still like
yeah.
them.
Look, they're
So,
comfortable.
it's comfort. It's comfort.
I
Yeah.
will say,
But we
in the
also just sat here and, like, argued so hard, like, not to wear an Apple Watch because it's not stylish, and now we're just, like, defending Uggs to
I
the death
know.
because
I'm
they're
like,
just comfortable.
but they're great. Okay, I will say like the platform Uggs, I think can be styled a little cuter, but no, like I think about like the knee-high Uggs. I'm like, you know what? Not they are weird. They're just like kind of igloos on
Oh,
your
yeah.
feet.
I mean, but also I just think it depends on, like, the environment. Like, if it's, like, the middle of winter and you're, like, super cozy cabin vibes, like, yeah, hell yeah, I
Yeah.
wanna wear my comfy Uggs, but, like, I'm not, like, rocking them to go get a matcha in the middle of June in Newport.
Fair. But you know what, Lindsay, if you did want to do that, I also, you know what, I support you.
Thank
They're
you.
freaking comfortable. Also, guys, fun fact, if you ever go to Australia, they're real Uggs and they are half the price that they are in
Wow.
America. So,
All you
just
need is
saying,
a $3,000 plane ticket to save $100 on your Uggs.
look, or work smarter, not harder. You buy that $3,000 plane ticket, you take an empty suitcase, you buy a bunch of Uggs and you sell them in the
Here we
States. And
go.
look,
Now we're thinking. This is the entrepreneurial spirit we
yes.
need.
And now you've got a whole entire business. But yeah, flights to Australia are wildly expensive.
Gary
What
V
are
backs this message.
Hey, oh my God, let's get Gary V on the pod. Oh, here's an interesting one. This person goes, do not wear tiny tops to work out in. What's wrong with a tiny sports bra? Like, as long
Wait,
as my
someone said what? Sorry, you cut out a bit.
someone said, "Don't wear tiny tops to work out in." Like,
I
but
only work out in a sports bra, so I can't relate. But I'm like,
no.
I'm a fitness trainer and I work hard as hell. So I'm like, I'm wearing the sports bra.
Right. I'm like, also, as long as like I'm not verging on a nip slip, as long as I'm not revealing myself to the world, I'm like, what's wrong with a sports bra?
I also work out from home, so I don't have to worry about that. But even at the gym, like, I don't care. I would just wear my sports
No
bra.
one, but I also think it depends on where you live. Like LA, very team matching set, sports bra to
Yeah, yeah.
Equinox in the gym. I would say, like, when I go home to small town Texas, I am the only person in my parents' 24-hour fitness in a cute matching set. It's very much landed the t-shirts. So, you know what? I think it depends on where you live, but also I don't want to sweat. I'm a sweaty gal.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, no,
wearing a
honestly, like,
sports bra.
I can't wear a shirt when I work like, my armpits are, like, covered,
No.
like, they have to be free to breathe. Otherwise, like, it is disgusting.
We have to free the pits. Look, we're
Free
sweaty
the
girls.
pits. Yeah.
It's not our fault. Okay. What's your opinion on shirtless male selfies? This person's saying
Mm,
it's a turn off. I'm
um,
I think it
I
depends.
I would agree only because, like, I don't think it's super grown behavior. Like, I
Okay.
don't think, like, a very, like, confident, self-assured man, like, has the need to post a shirtless selfie. To me, that would be a red flag, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it
It's just not my thing.
I'm over here like, I don't know, it depends on
She's
who.
like, "I
Like
love it." I don't know,
I
like, if I see a guy who's got, like, a lot of shirtless selfies on his Instagram, immediately, I'm
oh,
just like,
yeah.
either, like, you're super into yourself or you're begging for attention, like,
Yeah.
you're it's not grown man behavior to me.
I think there's a difference between like a gym selfie, mirror, shirtless, gross. Don't like it. I agree. It's like thirst trappy. But you know what? Like if you're at a beach and you're snapping, I think you get one. You get one on your Instagram and I give you a pass. I think more than one, we're saying it's an ick.
I'm not
It's a
gonna
for
lie,
sure ick.
I kinda feel like a hypocrite right now because I just defended myself wearing a sports bra, only a sports bra.
But we're like,
I'm like
men cannot.
and I'm like, "But men, you need the shirt on." Um,
Look, free the
yeah, I
nip
don't
guys
know.
too,
Now I'm
but
conflicted. Now I feel like an asshole.
I think it depends. You know what? I think it depends on like the pose as well. You know what? We all know
Yeah.
the kind of
Also, like, some
cringe
context,
guy.
some context, like, if
Yeah.
you're in fitness, like, okay,
Yeah, it's different.
I don't know, like, unfortunately, if you're in fitness, like, your body is your resume, or maybe you've had, like, a really great, like, fitness journey and you're speaking on that, like, hell yeah, props to that, but, like, if
Yeah.
it's, like, just, like, a thirst trap photo, like,
Yeah.
there's a difference.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Okay.
Context matters.
For sure does. This is interesting. I don't know if we're going to agree or disagree on this, Lindsay, but okay. This person says, unpopular opinion, I'd rather travel the world than buy a house. I'm like, I am with you.
Oh.
But what do you think? Don't you own a home?
No, I don't. But it
Okay.
is it's on my to-do list. It's on my to-do list for
L
2024.
look,
It's at the top of
she's
the
an
list.
engaged girly, she needs a house.
I'm trying. I mean, I want multiple homes. I want multiple homes. I
Hell
want
yes.
yeah, no, I want investment properties. Like, so, I mean, I don't know.
Oof.
I think it depends what you're I want to do both. I want
Yeah.
both. I don't want one or the other. I'm sorry. I want an everything kind of girl.
Look, I support that. I also yeah, maybe I should just stop traveling and maybe invest my money because I'm like, "It's fine. We'll worry about that later." Disney adults are scary. But you were just at Disney.
Mm,
So
I was. But
so
I
you
know what
tell
they
me.
mean.
Yeah.
I know what they mean by
Yeah.
Disney
Yeah,
adults,
yeah.
though. I don't know. I don't want to be mean and like say that they're scary. I think that
I think they're passionate. That's a
I
good
think
word.
they're
They're
passionate and
passionate.
that it can be like a little bit, out there and eccentric. But I don't think that
Yeah.
they're scary. I don't think
I
they're causing anyone harm. So
no.
they're
I
not
think
scary.
I think Disney
Maybe they're just not
adults
your people. That's fine.
I think Disney adults hang out with other Disney adults, and that is their niche and
And
their
they live a
thing,
little happy Disney adult family, and that's cute.
and
Yeah.
it's fine, and I'm good with going once every couple years and saying taking my cute picture and saying, "See you later, Disney, that was a good time."
Yeah,
That's all I
exactly.
need. Okay, last unpopular opinion. We kinda already touched on this one. Whatever, we'll do it again. Um, Unpopular opinion, working out is nothing without diet. I think we all know.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't want to say it's nothing. It's literally all relative to individual goals.
Yeah.
This is like where I get really frustrated. I could like pop off on this, but this is where I get really like frustrated in fitness culture, especially on social media, is that everyone's like promoting like this is the right way to do this or this is the right way to do that. And like it's literally all dependent on specific goals.
Yeah.
Like if your goal is not like fat loss or weight loss, then like sure, go work out every single day and you don't need to worry about your nutrition if that's not a goal of yours. You know what I mean? So it's relative.
Lindsay,
But honestly, the
spitting
two go
facts.
hand in hand. But the two do go hand in hand. Like if your nutrition's on point, then like you're gonna feel better from your
Yeah.
training. So
Look, guys, I believe in the 80-20 rule. Look, 80%,
100%.
80% clean eating, 20% drink the spicy marg, eat the pizza, live your best freaking life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. Lindsay, do you think of any unpopular opinions during all of this?
I know I didn't because I was like so focused on
Oh, wait,
ours.
here's one. I'm actually curious. Do you watch The Office?
I don't.
Okay, see, thank you. There's your unpopular opinion. Because I say this all the time. I'm like, I just like don't get the hype. I've never watched an episode. It's just not for me. And people, their jaws drop. They're like, you don't
Yeah.
watch The Office? I'm like, no, and I'm not gonna start anytime soon. I don't plan on it.
I'm not saying that I haven't watched it. Like I have watched it in the past, but I also am just like not like a huge TV person. I
Yeah,
feel like I just
same.
honestly like I do like watch TV but it's more kind of like mindless in the background, like unwinding. I'm just gonna like gravitate towards like my go-to shows like Friends or something like that. I'm not like somebody who's like diehard for a series.
Same.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. I am excited for Bridgerton to come back out.
I need to watch it. I have not watched it.
Oh, okay. I wonder if there's like any other shows that I don't love that other people love. I don't know.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Okay, I can give you. I did. Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
but I was very late to the game. Like I didn't like start until like I didn't start the first season until the last season was airing. If that makes sense. I was very late to the game, but I did finally get on the train and get addicted and get caught up.
There you
that
go.
was many moons ago. I can give an unpopular opinion is
Hit me
that
with it.
pineapple does belong on pizza.
Oh, anyone who disagrees, I will fight you any day.
It's so good.
It's so good.
People
I'm sorry.
Sometimes we order it and people are like appalled.
No, I'm sorry. It is a permanent pizza topping. And if you disagree with me, you're incorrect. I'm like salty, sweet. It is, oh my God, it's so freaking good. I'm happy we can relate on that one.
That's the lamest unpopular opinion. Like that's really what I came up with.
But people are passionate about it. People are passionate about pineapple on pizza. So I'm happy
it's true. It's a passionate topic.
I'm happy we're on the same page with that one. We can continue being friends. Lindsay, I could talk to you literally all day long, but you're probably busy running an empire and all the fun things. But before we wrap up, what's next for you? Any fun projects you want to tease, tell the people about?
Honestly, I'm just continuing to expand my business. I have some new trainers, some new coaches that I'm launching on my app. So I'm gearing up for that. I'm doing a huge launch event for my new app in LA next month. And then, like I said, your girl's trying to slow down. I'm going to spend almost a month in Europe this summer. So I'm really looking forward to that. Dream. Yeah, really looking forward to that. So yeah, I mean, I've got a couple more launches. I have just been like hit the ground running so far this year. And I'm going to get through these last couple launches and then allow myself to slow down a bit.
Yes,
so
we love that. Enjoy your European summer. Where can everyone catch up with you on socials?
Yes, you guys can come hang out with me at Lindsay Herrod or at Uplift is my app. You can come train with me there and I would love to get sweaty with you.
Yay. Oh my God. Well, Lindsay, come visit me in Nashville. I got to come visit you in LA. All the fun things.
Girlfriend.
But yes. Well, thanks so much for
also,
chatting
I
with me.
I need the off the podcast updates once we get out of here.
I know. Everyone's like, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Off the record. I can't give you all the tea because you guys don't leave me alone about it. No, I'll give you all the scoop. But okay, I'll see you soon.
Sounds good, girl. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to Off the Rails podcast. It's been real, it's been unhinged, and I'll see everyone next week. In the meantime, do all the podcast things, like, listen, leave a 5-star review, and catch up with me on socials at Off the Rails with Morgan. Bye.